Hello everyone, my name is Ayman. Today I will show you how to configure and verify switch port security. Port security is a key feature that helps prevent unauthorized device from connecting to your network by restricting which MAC address can access a switch port. The objectives of this lab are simple: configure port security on a Cisco switch, verify port security operation, observe what happens when attacker device tries to connect to the network. The first part, configure devices. So here we have one switch. We will select 2950, 24 ports. So this switch, you can see it is come with 24 ports. If you go to see the physical interface will be like this one. So we have 24 interface. So we can connect 24 devices here. Also, as you see here in the table, so we need to get 2 PCs. I will change the name, the PC0 to PC2 to be match the table. And also we need the laptop for the attacker. I will make the name to be just without the one. So now let us start to connect the devices. So here we use the copper straight through. As you mentioned in the table, we will connect the interface 1, 0/1 to the PC. We need to connect to the fastEthernet for the PC. And the fastEthernet 0/2, the interface 2, we need to connect with the PC2. Just for easy, I will add the IPs beside each device. So we can, I will put the IPs here. So now we need, after we connect the devices together, so we need to configure each PC and the laptop by put the IPs for each one. So when you click on the PC one, so we can go to the desktop IP configuration and we can add the IP here. When you click on the subnet mask, you get automatically. That's it. We finished the configure the IP for the PC1, PC2, desktop IP configuration. When you click on the subnet mask, the same thing with the laptop. So now all the IPs configured in the devices. For the switch, we do not need to configure IP, but we will do configure the interfaces later. So now everything in the table, we configure the IPs for each device. And we finished part 1, so now we will jump to the part 2 to start configure the port security. Part 2, configure port security. To configure the port security, one click on the switch and we need to go to the CLI. So enter switch. So we need first to access the enable mode, then configure terminal, access to the configuration mode. Then I will change the hostname for the switch to the S1. So now we have the S1 for the switch. So now we need to access to the interface 1 and 2. So we will configure both of them at the same time. So 1 to the 2. Then switch port mode access. Sorry. Then switch port security. Sorry, the switch port. So these commands help to enable the port security on both interfaces. Next, we will restrict each port so that only one device can connect. So the same thing, the switch port security, and we need to add maximum 1. So now each port will accept the traffic from just one MAC address. Then we need to enable the sticky MAC addresses so the switch automatically learns and saves connected device addresses. So switch port security MAC address is sticky. So this means the switch will dynamically learn the MAC addresses and store them in the running configuration. Now let's define what happens if an unauthorized device connects. We'll set the violation mode to restrict so that the switch drops packets from unknown source without disabling the port. So we need to use the switch port security violation restrict. Sorry, I have mistaken the spelling. Violation, yeah. So now, after we finish the configuration for these two interfaces, so we need to shut down all other interfaces by exit, then access to the interface, the rest. (0/3 to the 24. So we configure 1 and 2 and 3 to the 24. We need to shut down them. So now you can see all the interfaces from the 3 to the 24 are shut down. This prevents anyone from connecting to idle ports. So now the part 3 is verify the port security. So first we need to verify the verify the PC connectively. So let's test the connected between the PC1 and PC2. So if you go to the PC1 and go to the command prompt from the desktop, so we need to ping to the PC2 with the IP for the PC2. So it is working as you see. So now we need to check the switch configuration. So we need to first exit from this and back to the switch. So now to check the switch configuration, we need to show running config. Show running config. Sorry. So here, can you see all the configuration we did with the ports they show you? So we need to check 0/1, 0/2, and you can see all the configuration we did here. And the important here, the MAC address for each PC. It is in the switch. So if you double check, if you go to the PC1 and go to the config fastEthernet, so you can see both MAC address, the same one. So B607, and this is the same one. You can do the same thing with the PC2 if you want to double check. Config Ethernet, so you can see the same MAC address. Now we will connect the attacker laptop to the switch for the port interface 0/3. So the cable from the fast Ethernet in the laptop to the interface 0/3. You can see the 0/1 and 2 is not available here because it is already connected with the PC1 and PC2. So we can use any from these interfaces from 3 to the 24. I will use 0/3. And you can see it is the light is red, the connection, because we shut down this port earlier. So it means it is off. So we need to enable this port to see how the attacker laptop behaves. So click on the switch So we need to access to the configure terminal. Then we need to go to the interface fastEther 0/3, then no shutdown. You can see it start to become green, so it will be active now just a few seconds. So now the laptop should be able to ping PC1 and PC2 temporarily. And let us test this. So if you go to the laptop, then to the command prompt, so we will test how to ping to the PC1 with the IP 192.168.0.1. So you can see it is working. If you ping to the PC2, the same thing, it is working. So after the testing, so we need to shut down the port again. So I will go again. I'm already in the interface fastEthernet 0/3. So I need to shut down it. So you can see it is back red again. So now if we disconnect between the laptop and the switch for the port 0/3, and we need to take the cable from the PC2 to connect the same cable with the same interface 0/2 with the laptop. So click on the green and click on the laptop with a fastEthernet. So now we try to ping again to the PC1. The PC1 is the IP 192.168.0.1. To still try to activate the interface. You can see now it is green. So you can see the ping here is fail. And so this is because the port already has a sticky MAC address assigned to PC2. And the attacker laptop MAC address doesn't match. So now the MAC address here for the laptop is absolutely different about the PC2, and because that they cannot ping. So now if you go to the access to the switch and back again to the switch mode, so now if you check the show port security, so you can see the security violation is 4. So you remember here when you ping, we have 4 times try to ping, but it is fail. And because that here you can see the count for the security violation is 4. So this command we can use to check the show the port security. If you want to check, for example, a specific interface, so we can just type the name for it. /, in our case 2. So you get a report about this interface. So you can see all of these details about the interface 0/2, and they show you all the configuration happen. So you can see the port security enable and the violation mode restrict, and the important here is the security violation count 4. So this detail if you want to check specific interface, or you can check all the interfaces by this command, the show port security. So now if we reconnect the cable to the PC2, and we can check we can test the connect to the PC1. So it should be working. This is orange, still need time to activate it. So the request time out, but just a few seconds should be green and activated. So you can see the last one is success. So if you repeat, should be all of them success. So you can see the PC2 can ping to the PC1 successfully because the switch recognizes its original MAC address. So why can PC2 ping PC1 but the attacker laptop cannot? So that's because the switch restricts each port to a single authorized MAC address, which learned from the first device connected. If you remember, when you for the first connect and make ping between PC1 and PC2 and the MAC address saved in the switch, so by this way you cannot, any other device can connect. But unfortunately, even with port security enabled, attacker may still try to bypass these measures by, for example, the MAC spoofing using the same MAC address as in authorized device, or by physical tampering, such as unplugging a legitimate device and connecting there in its place. So that's why port security should always be combined with other layers of protection, such as authentication, monitoring, and physical access control. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.